Liverpool are just moving different this summer. We've seen Kirkez, Frimpong. We've seen the Wirtz deal happen. And they almost feel old news. The hype has kind of died down because they were done so early in this window. But Liverpool not done yet. They are going to want another striker. This was always on the agenda. And the heartbreaking circumstances surrounding Jota are only going to amplify this in many ways. Winning the trophy is all the Premier League, retaining their title has always been of paramount importance to Liverpool. But now, maybe with even more significance as the 25-26 campaign begins. Now, we know they're linked to Eze. They've got links to the Ekatikes and the Sheshkos are very good up-and-coming strikers as well. But aside from this, a potential replacement for Diaz is needed. Now, I know at the moment, and I know a lot of you are going to say, Terry, we're refusing to talk about Diaz. We're saying he's not for sale. No business is happening there. It's a non-starter. Let's not talk about it. I have a slightly different view. I believe what Edwards and co are doing is one of the things that makes Liverpool a different class, something that sets them apart from nearly every other team in England. They're built differently when it comes to transfers. They know how to negotiate publicly. They have the respect, authority, and skin in the game to nearly always get what they want. Now, before some of you jump down my throat, that doesn't mean they will land all the players they ever approach, because there is more than one brilliantly run, historically gifted, and wonderful clubs in the world to join. Okay, so you can't always win every battle in that respect, but seldom. It's a rarity. You've got better chance finding rocking horse poo in your house, if you own a rocking horse, that is, than seeing Liverpool get done on a transfer, undersell or overpay. And thirdly, and maybe even as significantly, get bad terms. These guys, when they signed Thiago, everybody went, wow, look at that price, 25 million. Now look, his injuries let him down. We all know this, but he was bought cheaply. Liverpool was still able to get payment terms where it was costing them somewhere in the region of £4 to £5 million a year for him. A lot of other clubs don't even bother of a fee that low. They just whack out the 25 million, great, and that's a bit of cash gone, but we don't care. Liverpool nearly always win. Now, the link for them that's come up in the last couple of days, I wanted to delve into in a little bit more detail with you here. By the way, hit the like button and make sure you are subscribing to my channel, my personal channel here, Terry Flewers. Thank you, by the way. And this deal is Anthony Gordon. Now, this kind of almost happened last year. It fell through in the end, but it almost happened. Now, Anthony Gordon, 24 years of age, he is a Liverpool fan. And I don't believe, if I'm being honest, he won't say this in an interview. Why would he? I don't believe he wants to be a Newcastle player more than he wants to be a Liverpool player. I don't see how that is possible or plausible on any level. I get if you grow up a Barnet fan, if you grow up an Accrington Stanley fan, if you grow up a Tottenham fan, when a big boy comes along, you'd leave your childhood team to join them. Of course you would. Of course you would. Liverpool are so different compared to those clubs. Anthony Gordon is going to want to join. Now, according to a number of sources, Liverpool are considering a move to sign the Newcastle forward late in the window. Now, doing it late in the window, some will say, well, add more to the, increase the cost. But that isn't strictly true. Liverpool, as we already mentioned with Diaz, I think are playing a little bit of a game right now. I think they like Diaz. I think they rate Diaz. And if he stays, I don't think Arne Slot, I don't think the board, I don't think FSG are going, oh my God, we're in so much trouble here with Luis Diaz. How can we possibly win a football match? So I don't believe they disrespect him, but I think they're willing to sell him. But their public stance at this stage of the window is we're refusing to negotiate. We're refusing to talk. we're going to try and drive that price up. Because what hasn't happened yet is there hasn't been this instant pivot from the Bayern Munichs and the Barcelonas. They haven't gone and bid for Marcus Rashford, who's also a target. They haven't, have they? They haven't bid. Rashford wages are really high, much higher than Luis Diaz's. And those clubs are becoming ever more pressed and ever more desperate to buy. So Liverpool are waiting. And as they feel that a real sizable bid for Luis Diaz could come in, I think that's when they make the move to Newcastle. I think what they try and do when it comes to Newcastle's Anthony Gordon is unsettle things later in the window where Newcastle have to make a very quick decision. Now, yes, people will say, Terry, but they won't be able to find a replacement. Harvey Barnes kept him out of the team a little bit last year. By the way, I don't think Harvey Barnes is better than him, but they've got a player there. But clubs don't want players that are unhappy. Clubs don't want players who are going to feel disheartened or disillusioned. And I think if Liverpool time this right, get their ducks in a row, they could pull this off. Now, I know statistically he doesn't have the greatest numbers in the world, but I also look at him in a similar way to I did. I now forget his name. Why has it left my mind? Sadio Mane. I look at him in a way of when he goes to a bigger and better team, he goes to another level. I wasn't the greatest fan of Anthony Gordon a couple of years ago, and I stated this many times on camera. But throughout the course of the 23-24 season, my mind started to change. Last season, I loved watching him play, and I still couldn't quite believe he wasn't in the starting lineup as much towards the end of the season. Of course, he got that red card and missed the final. Maybe there was a little bit of turmoil in that regard. But I think he's a phenomenal player. He's got great speed. He's got an eye for goal. He can create. And when you look at what that Liverpool front line is already and the development of it, I think he fits like an absolute glove. Now, Liverpool, to me, this sends fear down me because I still think they're going to go and sign a really good striker as well. Now, that being said, will they get Anthony Gordon if they were able to pull off the Isak deal? No, I don't think they could. And a lot of people may claim that the Isak talk's gone quiet. And I think that is purely out of the respect and class that Liverpool have demonstrated towards Jota. It would be, unless it was pressing and it was do it now or never, I don't think Liverpool even wants, in the last week to 10 days, have wanted to talk about, engage about a new striker out of the anguish and frustration and heartbreak that could cause. But of course, as a football club, their job is to win football matches. And they do need a new number 9. They wanted one anyway. And I think that's really, really key. So if Isak's available, this deal won't happen with Gordon. They were never going to get 2 players out of the same club, least of all Newcastle. But most people think Isak can't happen. I think Liverpool believe there's a chance it won't happen. Of course they do. But keep your eye on Anthony Gordon to Liverpool later in this window. For me, another game-changing transfer for them. And with Arsenal doing some good business already, bit of a dodgy one with Madueke, but Gyökeres and Eze on the way. Maybe Rodrigo. City are going to spend more money in the coming weeks as well. What a title race we are in for. I feel this is bubbling up to be one of the greatest Premier League seasons of the modern era. There's no doubt about it. Hit the like and the share button for me, please, people. Give me your thoughts and opinions below. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all again soon.